She loved men to death. If that's not completely hashtag relatable, then I don't know what is. Welcome to my first Halloween-ish video of this season, The Love Witch. I'm going to be recreating Elaine's makeup and hair from that amazing film by Anna Biller. So I'm starting off here with some primer just to smooth out and mattify my skin so that it's ready for foundation. And for foundation, I'm going to be mixing together two shades, one of the Bourjois Healthy Mix and the other of Revlon Colorstay. I do want a fairly good coverage, but nothing too heavy. So the Colorstay gives me that coverage, and the Healthy Mix is a little bit lighter in finish and texture, but darker in color. So combining them together, it makes a pretty good shade for me. So that's going to go all over my face, and then I will spread it around and blend in with the e.l.f. Total Face Sponge. For eyebrows, my arch is quite a bit higher in my eyebrow than Elaine's, so what I'm first going to do is brush my brows down and then kind of outwards towards my hairline before I start filling them in so that they appear more straight, whereas, you know, the front of my brow goes straight up and then my arch is quite high. So that's the shape that I'm going for to match up with Elaine's. I'm using the Shu Uemura pencil to lay down the initial shape, and then I might come back to my eyebrows after. Because I'm going to be putting on a wig, I might want to adjust the color a little bit, but this is a great neutral pencil to define the shape. Moving right along, the main focus of this look really is the eye makeup. And I'm going to be starting off with this pencil from Essence Cosmetics. My apologies, I can't recall the name, but I'll put it in the description box. And I chose a shimmery kind of turquoise seafoam eyeliner here, and it's going all over my lid as a base for my eyeshadow. I have seen this look done a few ways already on YouTube, often with more of a matte turquoise eyeshadow, more of a green shadow, but from the reference photos that I've been working off of, I found that this shimmery seafoam is the best match. So as I said, this is going to be a base for the eyeshadow, and it'll help to create the specific eye shape that I'm looking for. I'm bringing the eyeliner higher towards the inner corner of my eye, trying to emulate more of the deep set eye shape that Elaine has. And once I've put the eyeliner down, I'll just lightly go around the edges with this Real Techniques Deluxe Crease Brush. The film actually features a number of different colors of eyeshadow on Elaine, but this was the one that really spoke to me and was my favorite. And I'll include some close-up photos of the exact look that I was trying to replicate. She also wears a really beautiful purple with black eyeliner, but no matter what color eyeshadow, it's always a heavy winged liner, false lashes, same shape, but the colors will vary in the film. For the eyeshadow, I reached for 3 different palettes looking for the right color. Stupid Love palette was too blue, Stupid Love palette was too green, Tropic palette was too blue, and then the Juvia's Place was just right. It was more in between the green and the blue, like a real turquoise, and it is shimmery as well. So the color that I'm going to be using is from the Carnival palette, and it's the shade called Zola. Firstly, I'm going to pack it all over the lid, right on top of that liner that we've already laid down. And I'm using my favorite lid packing brush, which is the MAC 229. But any kind of flat packing brush will do. So putting this eyeshadow on top of the liner will intensify the turquoise color and set the liner as well. So it is not going anywhere. I'll eventually switch to a completely clean 217 brush, also from MAC, just to clean around the edges of that shadow. And to finish off the eyeshadow, I will put just a little bit of the Zola eyeshadow color on the 217 and lightly blend around the edges so it's as smooth and seamless as I can manage. So now comes the tricky bit, the eyeliner. I'm going to be using the MAC Blacktrack eyeliner with the Real Techniques liner brush, but any matte black gel or cream liner will work, so just use what you have. I'm trying to make it easier on myself, this liner, by breaking it up into stages. So first starting from the inner corner towards the middle of my eye, working on that until I'm happy with how it looks before I then tackle the wing, because obviously that's going to be the trickiest part, and I don't want to just try and create it in one fell swoop, as it will not be smooth. And what makes the wings tricky is that you can see the wings flip up or flick out when Elaine's eyes are open, but because my eyes are slightly hooded, it won't have that same effect naturally. So what I'm trying to do is really angle the liner up before the end of my lash line so that it becomes more visible. I hope that makes sense, but I'm trying to take as many breaks as I can to look straight ahead into my mirror with my eyes open so that I can see what part of the liner is visible, what part of the wing is still showing. When I'm happy, as I mentioned, with that wing liner shape, I'll then connect everything, fill everything in, and also slightly bring the liner along the outer corner of my bottom lash line, which will actually help once you connect that all up to refine the shape and see exactly where your wing should be. If you do have more open, deep-set eyes like Elaine, or I should say the actor that plays Elaine does, and you have more visible lid space, you can make the liner a little bit thicker along your lash line, but I did keep mine a little bit thinner so that you can still see some of that seafoam color poking out. The eye makeup is very traditional for the time period. It's maybe more 60s than 70s, but to wear one solid eyeshadow color all over the lid and then a black eyeliner, usually in a wing that gets thicker on the outside. And it was colors like this, kind of seafoam or more blue, greens, purples, that were usually favored. I feel like it wasn't till well into the 70s that you saw more neutral or like brown colors becoming the norm for women day to day. And yeah, later into the 60s, colors became much more deep and rich, and liner was more extreme. You had twiggy style bottom lashes being drawn on. And another very kind of late 60s element is to have a lighter colored eyeliner inside the eye. It's pretty retro to put white or light eyeliner there. I chose this kind of cream color from Pixi, as it's it's a little less stark than using a white pencil. But use what you've got. So I am going to come back and kind of finish the eyes later. But first I'm going to mix 2 shades of Tarte Shape Tape. And they are Light Sand and Fair Beige. They're 2 of the lighter shades in this concealer. One's more pink, one's more yellow. So I'll often like to mix them together. I am lightly tapping on with my ring finger to conceal and cover up the dark shadows I have under my eyes. So to finish off the eyeliner, I'm going to very lightly take the liner along the bottom lash line. I wanted to make this light as I didn't want it to look too heavy and intense, as it can really close up the eye. But when I checked, Elaine does have that liner all around the eye. I'll insert another close-up here so you can see exactly what I mean. And that screen grab is from a YouTube video that looks deeper into the films and the director, writer, producer, art director, everything Anna Biller's inspirations were for the film. I'll link that video in the description box. Everyone should check it out. I'm going to contour my nose just a little bit here using the Colorpop Sculpting Stix in the shade Dove. Elaine has this really cute little button nose, which I do not have, but with quite a light hand, I'm attempting to create that shape on the end of my nose, almost squaring off the tip. So I didn't want this to be like a heavy theatrical contour, but I thought maybe I could experiment a little bit here. So I'll then gently tap that cream contour in with my finger, and I'll then take a light shade of a full coverage concealer from CoverGirl to highlight my nose and try to emphasize the shadow that I made with the sculpting stick. I'm also going to then use that same concealer along the sides of my nose and basically throughout the center of my face to try and elongate my face a little bit. Now, when I first saw the trailer for The Love Witch, I was instantly transfixed. I was really taken aback and thought, whoa, no one is making films that look like that anymore. I was instantly transported to, the late 60s. It completely reminded me of Beyond the Valley of the Dolls, which was a sexploitation film by Russ Meyer that I can recall watching as a kid on late night TV when I was supposed to be asleep in bed. I think it may have been on City TV. If you're from Toronto, you might know that TV station, and they showed infamously blue movies late at night. Anyways, yeah, that film was absolutely ridiculous, but I loved the way it looked. How everyone was dressed, the hair, the makeup, the decor, the dancing. The fact that it was about an all-woman rock band trying to make it. It was just ultimate camp. I've actually still never seen The Valley of the Dolls, and I did grow up thinking that Beyond the Valley of the Dolls was a true sequel, and I didn't even realize it's quite different and that it was a parody. Anyhow, that's the vibe of Love Witch. If you haven't seen it, check it out. I finally got to see it on the Criterion channel, and The Love Witch was featured along with an earlier film by the director Anna Biller called Viva, and it just became like very apparent and evident that Biller has a very definite aesthetic and feminist point of view in her films. Her attention to detail is incredible. You become completely immersed in the world that she creates. It just, in The Love Witch, it looks like through and through that it was made in the 1970s, but it doesn't have the fakeness that some period film or television can have. Anyways, it's just gorgeous. You gotta check it out. It's just timeless elegance and camp. Okay, so you saw there I have gone through and set everything with the RCMA No Color Powder, and I'm going to be moving on to blush. I showed you there two blush colors, one that is an orange and one is more of a reddish pink. I'm going to start with the pink and see if it needs a little orange on top. This is quite a heavy blush look. It is the main source of color on the skin. And everything on the skin is matte. So this is a matte look, no real shimmer or sparkle, except for on the eyes, of course. I was quite happy actually with how this pink blush looks, so I won't add any of that orange, and I'm happy to move on to lips. For the lips, I'm using one of my holy grail discontinued drugstore products. This is the Revlon Balm Stain in the shade Rendezvous. Now, Elaine wears a few colors of lipsticks through the film. Sometimes it can lean more pink or more red, but I like this orangey corally red color. I like the contrast of the warm lip with a very cool toned eye and cheek. My instinct might have been originally to put a pink lip with this, but I like the option of orange. So this product packs a punch of color and also leaves a bit of a sheen on the lips, so I didn't find it necessary to add a gloss on top. But I will fill my lips in completely with this and then blot it and then go over again. I'm trying to make the shape a little more similar to Elaine's, which is I'm trying to de-emphasize the triangular nature or shape of my top lip, and flattening out the Cupid's bow, or connecting the tops of the Cupid's bow. This is like the Moira Rose, Naomi Campbell, connect the Cupid's bow top lip shape. Okay, so to finish the lip and further kind of clean that shape, I'll use an orange pencil before jumping into my witchy costume, or as witchy as I can make it costume. And before the finishing touches, as I mentioned before, I wanted to touch base with my brows, circle back to my brows, and I did decide to darken them a little bit. Just referring back to my photos, I thought it was the right thing to do. So I'm just taking an angled brush and this dark matte brown eyeshadow from the Smashbox Full Exposure palette. But any dark brown eyeshadow or brow powder will work. I think this will make a difference once I've got the dark wig on. So I put on this witchy lace bodysuit, which is from Eloquii, in case anyone's asking. And I'm going to now throw on some false eyelashes. False eyelashes were a staple in this kind of 60s, 70s eye look. I had these kind of fluttery ones from Quo kicking around, so I'm going to start with them. So I'm brushing on the Duo glue and then fanning the glue off so that it sets down, and placing the lashes on my lids with my tweezers and kind of tucking in the corners. I did not find that these lashes were enough So I took a pair of kind of cheaper, chunkier, more Halloween-y lashes and cut them in half and put that half lash just at the outer corner of my eyes to build up the shape a little bit more. Okay, so now the only dark long wig I have is this one, which is curly and does have a heavy fringe on it. I picked it up on clearance from Shoppers Drug Mart last year. And it's quite a pricey wig actually, but I think I paid less than, $15 or $20 for it. Sorry, it's been a while and I'm feeling myself. Rose McGowan, who? Delta Burke, who? Anyways, okay. So yeah, this was a Halloween wig that actually I was quite impressed with the quality and the styling of it. But to make it more Elaine, I parted it in the center and then I brushed out the curls as much as I could. Elaine does wear her hair really full, but it is quite straight. So sorry, not the most accurate, but it's what I had. However, this time of year, you can easily find a long, dark brown or black wig at most Halloween stores. You might even want to double up and combine two, like, Morticia Addams wigs. And Elaine often wears like a kind of half up, half down beehive look. So if you leave the front of your hair down and then tease up just a little bump in the back part, it's kind of like a mini beehive. And now the reason I thought I could get away with this French is because I was trying to emulate a scene in the film where Elaine goes to a tea party with her roommate. And yeah, I thought, yeah, I can do this. I've got a sun hat. I've got some ribbon and some flowers. Let's do it. Yeah. It's not quite the look when it's not all in pink, but I think you get where I was coming from. If I was to go out for Halloween as Elaine, I would rejig the wig and rejig the costume a little bit, but I think you see my intentions were good. Yes, so that's my Elaine from the Love Witch look. Thank you so much for watching. Check out the movie The Love Witch. Get the Criterion channel. It's amazing. It's the most stressful streaming service I have right now because everything on it is so good I don't know where to start. I don't know how to pick anything. Anyways, I love witches. Some of my favorite people are witches. Witches are so much less about evil, much more about love, connecting to the earth, animals, and other women. So this Halloween, send your love and power to all the witchy women in your life. Bye-bye.